Hello students. Once again we are meeting on e-learning portal of STBA. Students, in first session we started our first session with first chapter of history, that is nationalism in India. Now nationalism in India, we are going to continue its second part. In first part, you must remember that we have discussed about the consequences of First World War and Gandhiji's arrival to India. After arrival, he toured the whole country, and how did he played his Satyagraha policy at Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad. After getting success, he turned it as the Satyagraha movement when Britishers introduced Rowlatt Act in 1919. Against of it, Gandhiji used his Satyagraha policy. But a massive massacre happened in Jallianwala Bagh, that is in Amritsar. By the incident, Gandhiji was disappointed and he withdrew Satyagraha movement in 1919. But he got an opportunity to reunite Hindu and Muslims by participating in Khilafat movement. He participated in Khilafat movement to reunite Hindu and Muslims to get Swaraj. Gandhiji thought that Britishers are here. Only Indians were supported to the Britishers in their services, in their goods. Now Gandhiji decided not to cooperate with Britishers. That's why he proposed a movement in Congress session that was held September 1920 in Calcutta. In Calcutta, he proposed the non-cooperation movement, but several Congressi leaders were reluctant. Then, in Nagpur session that was held in December 1920, most of the Congress leaders agreed, and that time non-cooperation movement was launched. In 1921, students, in 1921, January 1921, officially non-cooperation movement launched. During non-cooperation movement, it was decided boycott of British services, boycott of government titles, boycott of British goods. So it was decided that this movement would be unfold in three stages. But before it, we have to know about the participants of this movement. In this movement, several people participated. At first, participants in town. Participants in town, most of the middle class people, teachers, lawyers, businessmen, students, they participated. At first, it was decided that they will surrender government titles. In second stage, they will boycott all the government jobs. Students left schools, lawyers gave up their services, and several people they left their jobs, and also boycott the council elections. In third stage, it was decided boycott of foreign goods, foreign clothes, and picketing of liquor shops. Liquor shops, that means wine shops. At first, the participants were so active. They were participating very actively in the movement. But later on, this movement slowed down. Several reasons were there. First, they were boycotting foreign goods and clothes. People started to wear khadi, but it was so expensive, not affordable by poor section. Second, they rejected government services and government institutions. But in comparison, Indian institutions didn't build up. That's why they again joined government services and institutions. Although non-cooperation movement was fruitful in various ways. At first, that halved the British import in India because businessmen and people they stopped to trade of foreign goods. And second, it reduces the market of foreign goods. Now, participants of countryside. In countryside, that means in rural areas, several peoples were in turmoil. Peasants, tribal people, plantation workers, all were suffering from several things. At first, we are discussing case study of Awadh. In Awadh, peasants demanded to reduce high revenues and to stop begar. They were suffering. They were suffering by different things. These were imposed by their talukdars and jamindars. That's why they wanted social exclusion of such jamindars. When Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru reached to Awadh and he met with Baba Ramchandra. Baba Ramchandra was the leader of those peasants, and by the inspiration of Pandit Nehru, they formed Audh Kisan Sabha in 1920. Later on, peasants started to attack on the houses of talukdars. They looted the bazaars and grain hoards were taken over. By hearing such incidents, Gandhiji and other Congress leaders they were not happy. Second participants were tribals. In Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh, tribals wanted to get rid of forest laws because due to such repressive laws, they were denied to enter in forest areas. They couldn't use the forest products, they couldn't graze their cattle in forest areas. Their leader was Alluri Sitaram Raju. He thought himself as the incarnation of God, but he blindly believed in Gandhiji, but he didn't believe in his non-violence policy. Alluri and his followers followed the policy of guerrilla warfare against of the Britishers. But at last, Alluri Sitaram Raju was arrested and in 1924 he was executed by Britishers. He was hanged. Now the third participation was in Assam, participation of plantation workers. Plantation workers wanted to abolish Inland Immigration Act of 1859. By this Inland Immigration Act, they couldn't return to their villages without the permission of British plantation owners. When they heard the news of non-cooperation movement, immediately they went away. They left the plantation areas because they thought that Gandhi Raj would come and they would be free. Students, by these case studies, you can understand that at that time people were taking the meaning of nationalism, the meaning of Swaraj for their own perception, for their own interest. Now, when the non-cooperation movement was at its extreme, Chauri Chaura incident took place in 1922, February 1922, where A peaceful demonstration of satyagrahis turned into a violent clash. 22 police officers burnt in the violent activity. By hearing this violence, Gandhiji immediately called off non-cooperation movement in 1922. By the incident of Chauri Chaura in 1922, Congress decided to withdraw non-cooperation movement. Now, student, you have to know what was happened after the withdrawal of non-cooperation movement within the Congress. Few Congressy leaders, they wanted to participate in council elections again, while few they were not ready. Few leaders, Pandit Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das, they formed another party, Swaraj Party, in 1923 within the Congress because they thought that by participation in election they can protest British policies as well as they can fulfill their aspirations and wishes. But other leaders of Congress were not ready for it. Now, during the Tory government in India, several people were in turmoil. That's why they were very angered and going to be violent. To suppress their violence and to make them happy, Tory government sent a commission, Simon Commission, in February 1928. Leader of that commission was Mr. Simon. But that commission was greeted in India with the slogan, "Go back, Simon." Why it was not welcomed in India? Because in that commission, no Indian member was there. Several leaders of Congress and Muslim League also they protested against the Simon Commission, and their protest was repressed by lathi charge and by arresting of several leaders. At this time, Lala Lajpat Rai assaulted by the police. In 1929, Lord Irwin gave a vague offer of dominion status to Indians. But this offer couldn't satisfy the Congress leaders. At this time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra were very assertive. They didn't want to accept any offer of Britishers. That's why it was decided that in 1929, when Congress session was held in Lahore, they demanded Purna Swaraj, complete independence or full freedom for India. And it was decided that 26th January 1930 would be celebrated as the first Independence Day. Now, the participation of Indians in movement of Gandhiji slow down. The demand of Purna Swaraj and celebration of first Independence Day was also not very attractive for the Indians. That's why Gandhiji decided again to start a mass movement, and that was started in 1930, and it is known as civil disobedience movement.